Hey guys, this is a test. I'm assuming this works. Hopefully it does. I'm gonna have some grape juice, grape and lime juice. Oh fuck, that's good. Good morning, guys. It's morning here. In my last video, I talked about Ascension, what it is, and how it's about coming aware of chains that you impose on yourself and that the external imposes onto you. And one of the biggest chains that exists today in the human collective, in the human experience, is this amnesia to the idea that people don't have your best interests at heart. And this is one of the sure signs that you know that you're starting to be, or clearly on the path of ascension, is having the maturity and the bravery to face this truth, which again is coming to terms with the fact that you, people in your personal life, and society at large have not had your best interests like you thought you've had your best interests all along. Now, why is this so? Especially, you would think that you always have your best interests, and to a degree, you think that you do. For a long time, and especially right now, human beings have been manipulated by this idea of safety and thinking that in order to stay safe and that the quote-unquote safe options are in your best interest. Think of your own life and the pressure that you put on yourself and the decisions that you've made, the choices that you've made for your own best interests, to stay in jobs that don't allow you to use your unique gifts and that create a lot of suffering every day. Or the habits that are celebratory, like getting wasted or binge eating. And, you know, in society, that's a celebration a lot of the times. Again, no right or wrong, just checking in with your past choices, or staying in relationships because it's safe to do so, because if you don't, then you'll be alone, and you know, it's okay to sacrifice and suffer in relationships because it's worth it, right? We tell ourselves these stories and impose these chains on ourselves, thinking that this is for our own good, for our best interest. Again, a lot of the times around money too. Not only the job that you choose to partake in, but this idea of being stingy, of not, giving tips, or of worrying about money because, again, thinking that it's in your best interest to save, that if you give too much money to people or spend too much money on a thing, then it's not in your best interest because your savings is going to decrease. A lot of that own imposition of that chain, of this illusion of best interest and of safety, was passed down to us from our parents, was passed down to us from a lot of the time school teachers, very young, who often exist in these worlds of lack, of disease, of limited thinking. And it's kind of funny in a way after you heal from it, of thinking how limited some of these teachers' minds are that you spend 8 hours a day with growing up. Now, again, I've had a handful of amazing, incredible teachers, but the majority of them are working in very limited mindsets where, again, they may think that, I mean, I've had teachers growing up where they've shamed me for being social and for talking during class, especially when I was younger. And, you know, it's funny, it's funny that they thought it was in my best interest to be studious and to do this one thing, when in reality they were restricting the flow of my energy. They were restricting my natural gifts and essence just to be a social person and to move around and not be restricted to a desk the entire day. It's literally, you know, for me, it was prepping me for the 9-to-5 life, which again wasn't a match to me at all. It's actually not a match to a lot of people, but these teachers, again, were passed down this knowledge of thinking that it was in our best interest to be good students, to do things a certain way, to not talk, to not question school doctrine or school rules, to follow, you know, orders, to wait to go to the bathroom oftentimes until they're told to do so by them. So, and then the child, you, grows up thinking that, oh, well, even though it feels like they're violating my boundaries or that they're not honoring who I am, they're saying it's in my best interest, so it must be in my best interest because they're the authority figure. And now let's get to society. Now, a lot of the times, let me say this, when you impose these restrictions and chains on yourself, thinking that things are for your best interest, and even a lot of the times your parents and, again, people in your personal life growing up, a lot of these people aren't acting from an evil point of view. They're actually, they believe that they're actually trying to help you and believe that they're doing it because they love you or that it's actually in your best interest. When we get to the society level, it's still the case. A lot of people still believe they're doing something, you know, if they're serving in government, if they're serving, you know, as a celebrity, if they're serving as a doctor. A lot of those people still believe that they're doing something for your best interest. And yet there are some people, especially at the top of these structures, that know that what they're doing, what their companies are producing, what their policies are, you know, what policies they're making, what they're creating, they know it's actually not only not in your best interest, but against your best interest, against your vitality, against your health, against your abundance, against your connection with other people, against your own mental health, against your own expression of who you are, and they're actually profiting off your lack, your disease, your disconnection and loneliness, your suppression, and a lot of the times their products claim the inverse of that. So something like, you know, I don't like to name products a lot, but I guess I'll do it for just the sake of an example of like a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero. And again, I'll do a video on belief and around diet and around the fact that there's no such thing as a bad food. I know that's a hard thing to swallow, but for this video, think of a product that's marketed as being healthy, as being a health alternative option, when in reality, a lot of these companies know that what they're marketing as healthy ain't so friggin' healthy. I'll just keep it at that. It's crazy. We lived in this, a lot of us have grown up in this world of marketing and advertising where everything is, you know, happy-go-lucky in Disney World, and we're groomed to think that everyone has our best interests at heart, right? Like, we live in this, like, I grew up in this, like, Cookie Crisp and, like, Disneyland and, like, you know, all these products are happy and fun for you and good for you, and you don't have to worry about anything, and, you know, you're taken care of, and, you know, get all the vaccines, and doctors have your back, and the government has your back, and you don't even have to think about, like, you're not even, you know, you don't even question anything. You throw your critical mind out the door because you're told, again, and groomed growing up, that all of these institutions, doctors, educators, your parents, everyone in authority has your best interest, so you're good. What they're telling you, you don't have to question. And what a beautiful world where everyone actually does that. It ain't this one yet, but, you know, a lot of us, everyone in some capacity has gotten, their innocence has gotten taken advantage of. But the good thing is we're here to, again, be on this path of ascension to, number one, see that we haven't, and society and people in our lives have not always had our best interests at heart. And now that we're seeing this, we can start holding new perceptions. And when you hold new perceptions, you make new choices. And you make new choices and you change the trajectory and the timeline of your life. And I'll leave this video about best interests at this. I'll take another swig of my grape juice. I talk about how there's this facade of safety used to manipulate people into thinking that, you know, someone's holding your best interest when in reality they're not. Think about the last year. Think about this year. Think about the implications of this with health. This is for your own good. Mandatory this, mandatory that. You can't see these people. You have to wear this over your face. You should get this injected into your arm. You should stay home. Think about it. And one of the most powerful things you can do during this time especially is return to your critical thinking mind that you've given away a while ago. Or maybe you're in the process of embodying it again. But asking yourself always, is this actually in my best interest? And the determination of that is always in your feeling states. It's when you're in a neutral state and someone gives you that information of do this, do that, or giving you any kind of information. All you have to do is simply ask yourself, is this actually in my best interest? You have to know what you want too. Is this me just catering to my own illusion of safety, whether it's around health, money security, relational security, or sensation security, in the sense of like, I don't want to be my full expressive self because it's safer to be suppressed. It doesn't hurt as much at first. Am I catering to that fear? Or am I really tuning into what I want and really tuning into what my best interests are? Which, again, tune in for yourself, but I can almost guarantee you it's abundance. It's a freeness around money and things. It's health. It's true connection, and it's being yourself, and it's expression, and it's sovereignty. It's choosing how you want to live your life, and it's making your own decisions. It's not being told what to do, where to go, what to wear, what to take. It's an inevitability when you start investigating this idea of best interests, where you've been imprisoning yourself, where people in your personal life have been imprisoning you, often unbeknownst to them, and then how society has been shackling you consciously or unconsciously. This is a huge sign when you start to look at this stuff and start to claim your own best interests, that you are on the path of ascension, which you are. Thank you guys. That's all for this video. give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and more importantly, a subscribe to this channel that I am building up currently. I appreciate donations very much. You can make a donation via the PayPal link in the description of this video. Keep doing you. I will talk to you guys very soon. Stick with whatever you're doing in life, and have a great morning. Take care.